So Octopath Traveler released in 2018 and everybody was like, the game sold exceedingly way well beyond Square's expectations. In fact, Square Enix actually had to issue multiple apologies to fans due to a shortage of physical copies. This is a game that sold over 1 million copies worldwide within its first week of release. When you take into consideration that the Switch has sold 20 million units, that means one in every Switch owners own Octopath Traveler, and that's pretty crazy. Before I go any further, this video is going to contain massive spoilers to Octopath Traveler. Sorry, I know that the game is, a little over just 2 months old or so, but I just really have to voice everything about this game in order to really capture it. Alright, anyways, I've personally always really been into turn-based RPGs myself, so Octopath Traveler was already up my alley. If you go back to watch any of my reviews or demo playthroughs of the game, then you can see that I did have my concerns of the game and its gameplay and whatnot. The main ones being that only a few of the playable characters would actually be useful in battle, and that the stories would have no correlation with one or another whatsoever. And I was pretty much right. Cyrus is proven to just be in about every player's main team from what I see of playthroughs and whatnot, and the stories don't correlate at all until the last chapter or after. Even though previous chapters can take place in the same town and such, they don't really, mix together at all. The main theory that I had for the game was that Alphen's healer from when he was a child and Tress's book's author would be the same person, and boom, I totally called it in your The main issues I still see people have 2 months later or so are, 1, the game is heavy grind, and 2, the stories don't correlate at all. So first, we'll focus on heavy grind since that can be the bigger stress causer. Okay, so if you know anything about Octopath Traveler, it's that you can play as 8 characters. The real question is, for how long do their stories go on? The answer is 4 chapters worth. Each character has 4 chapters to play through, there are 8 characters, so then there is a total of 32 chapters. I'd say that all the chapters take somewhere from 45 to 95 minutes to complete. If you do the math, then you're looking at anywhere from 35 to 50 hours worth of pure story elements. I think I personally beat all the chapters by around late 40 hours or so worth of gameplay. I currently now have 96 hours worth of gameplay, so I've spent about 50 doing all kinds of different things, such as item hunting, side quests, the post-game, and more. You will not be disappointed by the amount of content that this game brings. Now yes, all of that equivalates to each character's full story being just about shy of 5 hours long. The game also doesn't force you to collect all of the 8 characters onto your team. You can play as a single one and be done with the game. So yes, this game can only be 5 hours long. However, the game heavily implies that you should take your time to collect all the characters. Trust me, after doing every single boss fight of this game 3+ times, you're going to be needing teammates. From all the characters' names being in the title Octopath, to all of their starting and final locations making a big circle, teammates are highly encouraged. Aside from their length, the chapters have another interesting thing about them aside their plot, their difficulty settings. The chapter 1s for every character are all met at level 5, chapter 2s however shoot from the early to late 20s. Having more characters on your team makes it easier for you to win battles and thus gain experience. Again, this is why teammates are highly encouraged. In my opinion, you really only need 1 healthy dose of grinding for the main game if you're struggling. If you're just bad at RPGs like this, then you'd probably need to grind a bit higher than the recommended level, but everybody has their own way of play, thus why a heavy grind can be such a wishy-washy term. As an RPG fanatic like myself, I had 1 full-on healthy dose of grinding in between the chapters 2 and the chapter 3s. I got all my main characters anywhere from level 35 to 45 in between that gap. The other characters that I didn't main, I carried a little bit and got them from their early to late 30s. If you find yourself grinding more and more often, it could simply just be due to your character build. Certain characters work better with certain equipment, jobs, equip skills, and more. All of this, just in other turn-based RPGs, need to be taken into account. So TLDR, get good. Now, for the stories. The short answer here is yes, they do connect. However, it is massive spoiler territory. Guys, this is why your friends can't really tell you about the plot of Octopath Traveler, because basic questions like these fall into massive spoiler territory. Unlike most RPGs, the characters that you play as in Octopath Traveler don't all coincidentally know one another from some sort of magic night or magical moment, or nor do they have a friend of the friend. They're just random people with no common goal. Yes, it is 100% weird that they do just kind of come together and go on this journey together, but that's just a typical RPG, oh, it is what it is kind of thing. Now, if you've ever played a Square Enix game before in your life, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is really cool, though, to see Octopath Traveler take a simple concept and add an extreme amount of depth to it without making it unnecessarily complicated. I'm looking at you, Kingdom Hearts. Now, that's the spoiler-free version of the stories, so now I'm going to get into, like, massive spoiler zones and, like, you know, how their stories end and stuff, so go ahead and stop here. Okay, so I'll talk about the end goals for all the characters' Chapter 4s now. Ophelia puts a stop to the Antichrist, Cyrus puts a stop to an evil professor trying to resurrect Satan, Tressa is trying to sell stuff and make a diary, Albric is trying to kill the man that killed his kingdom, Primrose is trying to kill her father's last killer, Alphen is trying to heal a pessimist, Firion is trying to get the remaining Dragonstones, which are being held by his old friend and partner, Honnet is trying to kill a beast that puts everyone to stone. All of these stories connect to a much, much bigger one, that being the story of a character in the game named Kit. Kit is pretty much the protagonist of the whole game, you just can't play as him. Kit is the character that everyone connects to. That classic, oh, that's convenient feel is all about Kit. Again, this is what makes Octopath Traveler so cool, taking these simple concepts and adding these new twists and takes on them. Anyways, this is how they're all connected as written by twinfinite.net. I'll leave it in the description below for you guys to read because I would be sitting here for another 20 minutes if I did it myself. So have fun with that. But anyway, guys, there you have it. This has officially been my thoughts on Octopath Traveler's problems and how to ultimately get by them. So if you like this video, be sure to, leave a like and subscribe and all that jazz. Helps out a lot. But yeah, if you guys have any other thoughts or concerns about Octopath Traveler or any, video ideas for Octopath Traveler, since, the game, there's not really a whole lot of replay value for the game. It's not like it's worth, in my opinion, to keep playing and to keep making videos on. But if you guys want to see something a bit more on Octopath Traveler, just let me know in the comments below. And so yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace.